being the most honest when I said that I'm ignorant, because I know that I don't know, but I feel that I know in my heart, and I try to spread that among everybody that I come across. Not above, not below, eye level. And it doesn't matter where that eye level is. I try to put my eyes at that level, and I try to meet people where they're at and show them who I am while trying to see who they are. And that teaches me the most about myself and about others. And like I said originally, I believe in one true creator, but I don't know enough to speak on him. I could speak on every book I've read and what everybody has ever told me. And that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's a lot of knowledge there, but personally, I can't speak from that because I was not there when those words were put on paper. I was not there when those experiences were in front of those eyes. So I try very hard not to speak from those. I speak from my life as a father, as a person with a heart. I try to understand love, and whatever I'm learning and whatever I'm feeling, I want to pass or ask or feel from the people around me. So it's like a learning experience for everybody. Not like I'm a teacher. It's like I'm the teacher and the student at the same time, but neither. I know that sounds contradictory, but I just try to come in open, and I will have a strong stance when it arises in me and I feel it's justified, but I don't act from those places and I don't live from those places. And the prompt itself, the who am I? What am I? That's a question I wake up to every day. So when it was asked today, I gave a quick, brief answer. I don't know if you remember what I said, but if that matters, I don't know. But I really like what was brought here today. I like the openness. I like the amount of time that people take to listen, because this is a very, very rare group of individuals I've run across on TikTok that have the patience to listen without interrupting and jumping the gun and pointing the finger. Like, I just think it's a beautiful place. So if anybody has any questions for me, I'll answer them. But other than that, that's all I really got.
All right, thank you very much, Selo, for that submission. Please, we appreciate your kind remarks and acknowledgement of the show. We brag and claim to be the #1 faith-based show on TikTok, and that is what you have discovered. Truth in Love will now engage with you. Truth, you may proceed.
Said it needed a few minutes.
Truth, proceed with your time. Truth, you are muted in case if you think you're speaking.
I think he's actually busy. I needed 3 minutes to be ready for the engagement.
Okay. All right. Because I gave him the standard time and I was surprised when he said give it to me. I didn't understand. All right, but we'll wait patiently for him. Seller, are you a seller?
Am I what?
Are you a seller according to your name?
My last name is Fisher. So no, I sail many places, but I have not sailed the seas.
Oh, okay. And did you say you believe in God?
I believe in a God, a single true creator of all.
Where is he?
Everywhere. Here in my heart, everything I look at, the things I speak and say and hear, the divine consciousness, and I believe we are all fragments or pieces of that, which is why I think in some books it says created in the image of. You know, language is a really funny thing when you break it down. Even when two people speak the same language from the same city, one word can mean such a different thing to the other person, because how that other person thinks, feels, and comprehends that word, we don't know completely. So we're only getting a partial story anytime anybody talks or anytime we listen. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. So, were you born into a religious family?
No.
Oh, I see. So, how did you discover this God?
Young age, I felt something larger than myself and searched for it, and I've been doing that ever since. I now have 4 children, 2 grandchildren, and I just felt it. So I decided to see what this is. Like, I was always somewhat of an outcast. I did a good job at pretending to be like others when I was younger, but I gave that up in my late 20s. And I just felt it, that there was something above me, like my consciousness, my mind would always go to a place that I knew was above me, that I could almost tap into and see. But I knew that my limited physical mind cannot comprehend and understand the magnitude of it. So I've just been on this journey ever since. Another reason why I say sailor, but that's that.
Wow, I didn't realize you were a grandfather of 2. That's nice.
Thank you.
So, your children, are they practicing your faith?
My faith, I read a lot. My faith is in honesty, love, commitment, hard work, community, consciousness, connection. So within that, yes.
So, none of them joined any organized religion?
I am not part of any organized religion.
I mean, your children, none of them joined an organized religion?
No, I think they've just followed me on my path, which I actually have. I would not call it an organized religion, but I have started what some people would call a religious institution or a church. But, you know, the state stamping a piece of paper does not mean anything to me. So I just taught them, because they would ask me, who's God? I said, God is everything. God's everywhere. And I did not raise them to be religious. I raised them to be open-hearted, open-minded, fair, and just honest with themselves before they could be honest with anybody else.
Now, you said you have organized something that looks like a church. Tell us about how it is structured. When do you guys meet? What do people meet when you meet? Duty Chris, Tin, my sister, welcome back. It's been a while. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us and for the gifts. So, Sarah, tell us how your group is structured. You know, how do you guys operate? What are the things you do? Which days do you meet? Are you involved in missionary efforts? Things like that.
So the missionary efforts is something that we want to get into. We are fresh out the gate. And when more than one of us come together, we're there. We do not have an established location I guess we're considered like a traveling church is the way they explain it. I don't necessarily like abide by strict definitions of human words, but I understand what they mean by that, and I hope to one day have a centrified location that people can come to for community. But it's called Source Matters. So Source being the one, and matters, the matters of, and the matters of us. Like, it matters in a sense of like, does this matter or not? And then matter as in, you know, this three-dimensional realm that we are all a part of right now. So right now we don't have days of the week. Music is one of the big things that we communicate through. We can step up. There's no stage. There's no hierarchy. It's a group of people coming together as they were, as they are, with no hostility, no cult-like mentality, to spread what they know, and hopefully with love.
Do you guys have any form of rituals?
Like I said, we're very new. I have forms of rituals, and so the way I look at it is, if you have a ritual and that you want to bring to the table and teach and show, then I would love to see it and learn it. And the small group that we have now are all in the same mindset that, yes, if you have rituals and truths and beliefs, bring them, show us, and let's try it. As long as there's no hostility, no fighting, as long as there's truth and love, and there's no cult-like mentality, then we're open to learning.
Do you consider yourself to be on the same level with Jesus Christ, Muhammad, Buddha, and other founders of religion?
No, I don't claim to be on. I think that'd be selfish. I'm just a dad trying to learn. But I have a spark inside of me that you all have inside of you, that all of that they all had inside of them. I will say that.
Now, the other thing is that, have you investigated Jesus Christ and his claims and the religion that originated from him?
So yes, I've studied modern Christianity with the 66 book canon. I've studied the Ethiopian, which I like the most when it comes to the book of books, or the Bible. I've studied Muslim and Judaism, kind of all, the same old book. I've studied Buddhism, which is more of a philosophy than a religion. Hinduism, and this was all at a very young age. Not enough to say I know anything on the topic, and not enough to be I'm not a scholar. I can't pop off the correct answer off of any question. But no, I've studied these things with my heart. I remember about 15, 16 is when I just dove in head first, and I wanted to know what was what. So I started with the Eastern, just because that was the other side of the world. So I figured I'd start there and work my way home, and then work my way back around. So that's where I'm at.
When you were investigating Christianity, did you discover anything strange?
Yeah. Yes.
Please share with us.
Oh man, there's so much. Well, just the way that the book came to be, who wrote the majority of the book, where they allegedly came from or didn't come from. But then again, this all goes back to what I said earlier, as I did not have boots on the ground. So I can say what was wrote and what was said, but I wasn't there. But yes, I found a lot of interesting things in Christianity that made me scratch my head more than once.
What did you discover that made you scratch your head exactly?
Seemed like what I would say would be the Romans for over 300 years came together and slowly put this book together. Some people would say they came together, boom, about 300 years later at a council. And so there's a little controversy there. I don't know which one's true, but I know that, they decided what books will we keep in this 66 book canon Christian Bible and which books will we not keep. How many of them are true? How many of them are not? I cannot lay claim to any of that, but I've seen it, I've read it, I've studied it, and so that's a big blinking light to me as to, okay, why so many books removed and changed, and why are the three biggest religions on earth all from the same old book? That just shows me that if the adversary were given the power that people said that he had, then that would ring true as to why there's so much confusion.
So in your judgment, none of these three religions is true?
No, I'm not going to say that they're not true. I just say I don't know what's true within them, and that there's a lot of stuff that's been taken out, added, and like I said, when it comes to translation or even simple word to word, born in the same city, one sentence from a person's mouth is going to mean three things to three other people. It's going to be similar, but when they say it to their friend, and then they say it to their friend, and then it comes back to the original person that said it, they're going to have 16 different stories of what they said.
Now, Truth in Love, please let me know once you're ready to engage him, and I'll give you the floor.
Ready, host. I'm just listening.
Oh, okay. Let me invite Truth in Love to engage you, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Sailor, how are you?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Man, living the dream. Or what's left of it, I guess. But growing up in America, if you weren't Christian, did you feel kind of like an outsider?
Yeah, I knew what, I mean, I didn't even know that Christian was really a word. I knew who Jesus was, but when I was a kid, Jesus, Santa Claus, and the Tooth Fairy were all in the same category because I wasn't taught anything about any of it. So I didn't know. Wow. Yeah, I didn't know.
Were you raised in rural?
No, I was raised Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yeah, but okay, so in the city?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you live the city life then, basically, not so much out in the country. Because, out in the country, especially in Indiana, holy cow, man, you better know your Bible.
It's 50-50. I started in the city at 8 years old. I moved to Alabama in the sticks. And then by 10, I was back in the city. And then 5th grade, I'm in as rural Indiana as it gets, rolling hills and farmers.
If you were introduced to Christianity at an earlier age, do you think that you would be a Christian today?
No, because I would say that I would not say that I would not be a follower of Christ, but I don't think that I would ever claim any title.
No, when you separate Christ out from everything, is that because Christ is a person?
No, just the label itself. Nothing to do with the person or the word, just the label.